a truly once in a lifetime opportunity to build the first contemporary, well, the first ever Asklepion style dream temple, or first dream temple that I'm aware of that exists in the United States.
I'm sure everybody's going to feel really good about, what we produce together. And it's not that often that humans get together, build something that's going to last, 100 years plus.
And something they could come back and use. That's what's so beautiful about this dream temple is anybody that comes and attends this workshop, I'd love to invite them back to come and incubate dreams here.
People can come and see a different type of architecture that nurtures the human. And, like I'd like doing classrooms because then generations will come and see it. Like you said, it's not just somebody's home that nobody really gets to see except for their friends and family.
Yeah.
This will be whatever what we build there together will be available to the public for all kinds of levels of learning, from
Yep.
boring architectural type stuff all the way up to, absolute health and therapy. So it's exciting for us.
And I want to talk about that, like what the experience will be like for the people who are coming. Because I've never been to one of your month-long workshops building in this way. And I know you did this for a long time with Earthships, and then for the last 3 years with ECOHAB. And I could say I'll start with from the Hawaii perspective. It'll be January. It'll either be rainy or not, or off and on. We have cascading waterfalls going down 1.5 miles on both sides of the land. They're private waterfalls where you could go in and swim and jump in. And we grow probably over 50,000 pounds of food a year just right on the soil beneath our feet. We have campfires. We have hot showers and toilets and a community kitchen, and we're going to have a chef who's on the island that knows how to prepare the meals from the food from the land. Most of the food will be grown from the land. We drink water from the freshwater spring-fed stream that's filtered, and rainwater, rain catchment water. We have people who will be playing, music. We go to dances on Sunday. It's the birthplace of ecstatic dance. There's a lot of live music around the island. There's obviously the beaches that are present on the island. So on the weekends or Sunday or whatever, people probably will take trips out to do those things in general. We have, mini cows, and we have horses and regular cows, and it's an active community. So there's a community of about 16 people who live and work and commune at Rainbow Bridge. It's 86 acres on the Hamakua coast of Hawaii, with full panoramic ocean views, to try to paint the picture of the setting of the land and the place we're going.
What does a day look like? Well, we'll all be camping all around or I guess you have your camping spots all around the farm. You already did a great expressing what it's going to be like. I mean, I'm ready to change my ticket and come tomorrow.
We would love to have you early. You come whenever you want.
I would love but usually everybody gets up and starts stirring, and then we'll have a specific time where we want everybody to be on site. And that's usually 8:30 or something like that. And then every morning we'll have a morning meeting, and we'll have Roy, one of our team. He'll sort of do some team building exercises, kind of get everybody loosened up, kind of get us connected, get us all, aware of each other, and, looking at each other, and, kind of setting that we're okay. We're kind of one organism in a way when we're on site. We all kind of leave our individual. It's not a place to be selfish. It's kind of leaving self behind and coming together as a team for the goal, the common goal, to build the temple. So then I'll kind of do an intro. Here's what we're doing today. Here's different group assignments. I'll get down to the nuts and bolts stuff. Here's what we're looking at. Here's the goals for the day, and we will often we'll go ahead and assign people to different groups, and we will have stations where there's different activities happening, and then we'll rotate people through the stations. And the first week, that'll be pretty structured, and then some people like structure, some people hate structure, so everybody will get what they need and be able to experience as many of the different facets of the build. And then, for example, that first day, we will have the foundation team. Well, I'll be doing that with Jared and Lou and a bunch of the workshop attendees. And then we'll also be going ahead and starting our steel cages on the ground, which will be our roof system. And we'll also be cutting some bottles for bottle bricks. And so we'll have 3 or 4 different stations, and everybody will be super busy. And, people shouldn't be intimidated either. And we're going to have some early on classes about what is rebar, what is cement. So we made the decision in our design process and getting feedback from you and your local community that, we would be building out of masonry. And as a matter of fact, I don't think there will be no wood in this structure that we're going to build. And we're going to take from what we learned in places like Guatemala, and we're going to, any doors that we have or windows, we're going to weld those and fabricate them out of metal. And then of course, metal is susceptible to rust, but we're going to do our best to seal it. And it certainly is going to last longer than wood. We also want, it's a temple, and we want, not only do we want this durability, but we want longevity. We should be building that'll last, a century or centuries even.
Centuries, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the goal. And with that, then, we started to think about, all right, well, what materials are appropriate? And tires, well, they're appropriate pretty much anywhere. And so our foundation work will be out of tires, but we're going to pound those with gravel and not earth, because we know we have a lot of water to deal with, and we want this thing kind of high and dry. And then, a real interesting part of the design process was considering the wall type. And I started to look at cost, and I started to look at the cost of cement. And Hawaii does produce cement. It is a local material, but it is 35% more expensive than what we have here in Taos, and ours is already expensive.
Everything's more expensive in Hawaii. Even coconuts are more. Avocados and coconuts are more. Pineapple's more expensive. $20 for a pineapple.
So as I'm in my mind, I'm going through, okay, what are different? And we like building with masonry because it's mass, thermal mass. Because we're also trying to heat and cool our spaces passively, meaning non-mechanically. So we always would use mass. We always incorporate mass. Cement or bottles laid in cement mortar. I mean, is good mass. Concrete's good mass. And then we always insulate our mass. So anyway, back to the mass. What mass are we going to use? What's appropriate? This concept of hyper adobe, and it's basically earth, 1/3 earth, 2/3 sand, clay, like you have on your farm. That's why the thing I did was ask you if you have clay. And then we mix it together, and with a little bit of moisture, and it's damp. And then with funnels, we put it into these big, long, continuous earth bags, and then we tamp it. And in little 4-inch layers, it will create our thermal mass walls sitting on our tire foundation.
If people came, I know a lot of people might be interested in the psychological aspect of this, this is a truly once in a lifetime opportunity to build the first the first ever Asklepion style dream temple, or first dream temple that I'm aware of that exists in the United States. If there is one, I haven't heard of it. So some people might be interested. They just don't have any building experience whatsoever. Is that something that's okay?
Because a lot of our techniques are not too typical. And so if people come in just with eyes wide open and open minds, then often they'll get the most out of it. So, and our team is so used to, we were all like that at some point.
Because I look at this as an artistic way of building in community with natural material to place. It's like you're feeling into it. You're not looking at this one blueprint going to Home Depot, placing the one order, and then a bunch of framers come in and do that part, and plumbers come in and do that part, and they're all strangers and they all leave. And then plap, there's that. I call it plap, right? It just plap, and then there's a house. That's not at all how this is going.
No, nothing like that. It's nothing like that. And so, and the people that the ECOHAB team, we've spent so much time working with all kinds of different people from all sorts of different places and all sorts of different specialties. And so, no one should feel intimidated at all by it. It's a super great way if you're interested, in any of this. It's a great way to try stuff out, and you're going to get to try out, whatever you're comfortable trying out. Um,
And
so
people, oftentimes people end up building something for themselves at some
oh
point. They're in community, they get to feel what it's like to live in community. If that's something they're interested in doing in the future, they may end up joining a community at some point and then deciding that they want to put these skills to work. They could tap into the network at EcoHab or people that they meet here at this workshop and tap into other people that may want to help them or all of these things, or maybe they decide they want to come on another build somewhere around the world, or come help serve these people like in Haiti that you came and went and did. They were really needing this help. So this is a great way to also be of deep service.
yeah, it just has so many layers,
Yeah.
really of benefits to just all humans, really. I mean, it's just like in the U.S., we aren't in, nobody's encouraged to build, to try to build their own anything.
Yeah.
Really, you're just expected to get locked into that mortgage and work that job, and that's that. But I think a lot of people have realized that's just not going to happen anymore. Even if I have the job, I'm not going to get the mortgage. It's the cost of housing has gone crazy and there's nothing affordable anymore. And also it's about, Zach, it's about education. People don't really realize that don't know that there even is another option. And that's why, like at the workshop we're going to have at your place in January, we just want to kind of reawaken people to the possibilities of re-examining what could be a building material. What kind of natural materials can we use? How do we design like appropriate to place? How do we adapt to any given place? Over the decades, I've come to realize that there is not like one answer to any given place. As a matter of fact, architecture needs to be absolutely adapted to the people and the place, and culturally, could be religious reasons. Also should be adapted to what people are used to working with. What's appropriate, what kind of garbage is in fact available. We at EcoHab still see the value in building with, kind of society's cast-offs. The reason why people remember these for, and it's one of their top, even, I mean, I don't want to, but for me, they're my top life experiences. It's because of, there's just all of these, there's so many things that are going to be flying around, between, the psychology of the dream temple all the way down to, what is a foundation made out of, and we're, and food and water and power and comfortable shelter. And, just there's a lot of information that we're all going to be discussing and learning. And, I'm going to be learning a bunch. I mean, reason I love this is because I always learn. I learn a lot about people, maybe more than construction. I just want to bring quality people, and I want to like give them a little something to come, and that's why there's a $1,200 charge to join this. So it's
And it's
definitely,
$1,200 for the entire month.
yeah. So
And that is in Hawaii, where $1,200, like if you're staying at this place where I'm at right now, that'd be like 3 days.
yeah.
And that wouldn't include food. I think it's an incredible opportunity for people to come together. There's really nothing else to really compare it with. You made it super unimaginably affordable. I actually encouraged you to charge like more than double that, and all of the money was going to you, not to me. And you said, no, I want to make this accessible. And I think you probably related to how you felt when you were younger, first hearing about this. Because you're like, no, I want this to be accessible to anybody who wants to attend. I mean, this could be someone's least expensive trip to Hawaii, because for $1,200 and $40 a day for food, you can't buy food for $40 a day, and you definitely can't stay anywhere in Hawaii for under $1,200 that I've ever seen, and definitely not with waterfalls and education and all of that.
Yeah, I'm really into the architecture, but I think a lot of people leave these workshops being most struck, and people cry when they're over, because of the community that's built.
And then you can find us on dreamtemplehawaii.com, and I think ecohab.org. Is that it?
Yep, you can sign up right there, right from the homepage.
Wonderful. Hey, thank you so much, Phil.